Welcome to Life's a Bit, y'all. So today we're going to be reacting to this video, mostly about people basically not having jobs. And not having jobs. No,
This
but
is
for
his idea. I swear. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. No, it's we're just reacting to some people that are showing their frustration out over not being able to have jobs. And I admit it is hard to find jobs nowadays, but everybody's showing their frustration, and we're trying to see what they're talking about. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's get into it, y'all.
Let's get into it.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Me. Why? Why is it that everyone's hiring and no one's hiring at the same time? If that makes any
Word.
sense. I'm getting frustrated and I'm speaking, and only the people that are having a really hard time getting work right now can relate to this. I'm not talking about anybody who actually has a job. I mean, you can probably relate to it too, but what I'm getting frustrated with is everybody. I said everybody's hiring, but nobody's hiring.
Okay.
Everybody wants experience, right? I get that. We all want experience. But what about the people who don't have experience that are willing to learn, but yet they get passed up every single time because they don't have experience? So I'm not understanding this, because how are people supposed to learn things if you don't give them a chance? They always want to hire people who have experience, but a lot of the times the people who have a lot of experience are usually the ones that are not very good workers. They're just not. And the people who don't have the experience usually end up becoming really good workers if that job gives them a chance, because they're willing to learn. They're willing to do the job. They're, you know what I mean? They want the experience. It's a foot in the door. So that way, if they get jobs in the future in that particular field, they can get it because now they have, some experience under their belt. That's where I'm getting stuck. Hold on again. Sorry, my dog had a pee now. She just took like 2 sips of water and all of a sudden she had a piss.
Or
Probably just wanted to be nosy and go outside. But yeah, speaking with experience,
right, sir.
people with no experience tend to be better workers than people with experience. I'm not talking for everybody. I'm not saying that if you have a lot of experience, you're a shitty worker. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that things that I've noticed that jobs tend to let people go that have a lot of experience, and then they cry because they don't have enough staff. They're short staffed. Yet this person that they interviewed, no experience, wants to learn. And they're like, I will come in and scrub the toilets in the bathroom. I really don't care as long as I get the experience. Anyways, that's me when I got interviewed, and I thought everything went well, but then someone comes in with more experience and they get hired right away. And I'm not knocking anybody who has experience. Obviously, you deserve to have a job if you have experience, but the people who are trying to go out, stick their foot out into a different field, like.
All right. Because she's saying the same thing.
Yeah, what's up?
That's the never ending story of the workforce, many a time you're in places and you have management or just other employees that always seem like they have a leg up. And sometimes she's right. It is somebody that says, they always say they want the experience, but then the person that is experienced ain't shit. And then and you see the person ain't shit,
Right.
And you can outwork or outsmart them in all given times. But
Right.
Sometimes this is what I learned,
Right.
that and I don't. Sometimes I don't know how to push. I don't know how to feel about this, but that piece of paper, that degree, and it'll be someone that like I said, they'll fire someone that had that degree, and then because that person messed up, and then this other employee been there for 7 years, knows everything about this that there is to do on this floor, warehouse, where shop, whatever. They know every ins and out,
right.
But because of that piece of paper, they're not qualified to do it, and that is unfair. It should be about merit. And about sometimes, and not all jobs are like that. Some jobs you can work your way up to a better place in them. But I've seen in situations where somebody would apply for a job and they've been working for a company for 10 something years, and they'll hire somebody straight out of college.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, how did you pick I'm not saying that the college kid don't deserve to have a job.
Yeah.
However, they don't even know what real work is in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's been times where it's like, okay, you'll meet a 21-year-old. They've never driven a power equipment. They haven't worn a hard hat. They haven't, been to a safety meeting. They haven't had the consistency of having to say, I got to do this every day. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you're in college sometimes, let me not say that because I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
Well, the community college.
Same. Yeah.
But I know for a fact it's not the same as having to go to work.
Yeah.
It's a lot more leisurely.
I think I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit. So I'm gonna say, bro, I know so many college friends.
Okay.
Like friends that have like bachelors, doctrines, things like that, man, and they can't find a job.
No.
Like, because they're actually overqualified to an extent.
That I will never understand.
No,
explain that to me.
I know somebody that told me that she applied for like 80 jobs, and the only one that called her back was a Starbucks.
And she has a degree?
And she has a degree.
Unbelievable.
Has a degree in psychology. Well, maybe that's the reason why.
Maybe
that's the reason why.
Hell, shit.
Yeah. Maybe that's the reason why, because it's in psychology. But like, I think it's just difficult to get jobs without experience. It's going to be hard to.
But how do you do it?
That's the point. That's kind of like the messed up system that we're in right now.
Unless there's a different reform of education from high school on up, right?
Yeah.
Unless they say, okay, if psychology, say for instance, she got the degree in psychology, unless there's something in high school, from high school all the way through college, that shows that she's experienced these things to learn about psychology. That's the only way, because you can't have experience straight out of college. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if that's the game, that the world plays with people, saying, hey, we got to get the experience. Well, if we need experience, how we do that? Well, let's make it to where it was old school tradesmen. I think like tradesmen back in the day,
sure,
like craftsmanship or construction was in high school, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Dope,
so like when you came out of came out of high school, like you knew a skill. You were a blacksmith. You knew you were an electrician. You were a welder. Like they did that in high school. Then they took that out, and then you went to school for that after that. But those are the things that I think need to be back into schooling. So they'll have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Because again, the slim pickings out here.
Yeah.
Not to mention, its jobs are being deleted as we speak.
Yeah.
And it's just not. They're not going crazy. The people that are going through this aren't crazy. It's literally people saying we're not hiring. They'll have the sign up there all day long, but most times they're not.
Yeah.
Or they're just very selective of who they want, and I don't know the criteria on who they want. I've known people myself that have went to school, and it's like, what do I do? You got a DoorDash. Not saying nothing wrong with it. You gotta make your ends meet, right? But it's fucked up. It's completely crazy. It's mad. It's madness out here.
It's wild, man. It's wild. It's really just giving you like two choices. It's either you just like start all the way over, and you just like work a fast food joint, or
content creating. Content creating is actually saving people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know what's going to take off. They might have a viral moment. You know what I'm saying? They might have some moment on YouTube or TikTok or whatever the case may be that will propel them. And some you have that have been grinding it out for years, and that was their way out. But it's still funny to think about, like, no matter which way you get away from it, you have to work at whatever it is that you got to do.
You have to work at it. You're never going to escape like the grind.
The grind of it, right?
It's always going to be a grind to everything.
Right. It's always going to be a grind. What I'm learning now, took too long to damn learn.
Yeah, 60 years.
60 years.
Yeah, for sure.
I am 60, y'all. I'm just
he's 60.
I'm not 60. But they were like, this nigga 60.
Yeah.
Do I look 60? I don't look 60.
Oh, yeah. No. You look good, man.
You sure?
Yeah, you look 59.
I mean, I know
you look 59.
59.
Yeah. I was messing with you, but no, that's true though. I think like, you're never gonna escape kind of like the rat race at the end of the day.
Right.
You're gonna do it some kind of way. You say that you're gonna be like working for somebody else. You're gonna be digging in some grounds. You're gonna be putting on somebody's roof. You're gonna find some kind of way, right?
You gotta work.
You gotta work. You gotta grind.
Even if it was your own business. Even if it was your own business.
Yeah.
If you was, like you said, working for somebody else. If you was digging holes.
Yes.
There is no. All right, let me, make some money like this. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
maybe later on.
Yeah, let me just lay back and just like
enjoy.
Like that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. If you think it's a world like that,
the lottery.
Somebody that's just graduating high school that's watching this, like, it doesn't exist. They sold you a dream, and you just you're gonna have to work the rest of your life.
We're not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just saying, but you're gonna have to work though. I'm just saying you're gonna have to work to accomplish anything.
Yes,
anything that you want to do, even if it was becoming a millionaire, if it's becoming a hairstylist, whatever the case may be, you are not going to avoid having to get your ass up.
Yes,
that's just all it is. Unless you hit the lotto, but even still, you got to get your ass up to go to the gas station to pay your ticket.
That's right.
So there's nothing that you get in this world without, you got to give to get.
You got to give to get.
Scared money don't make money.
Scared money don't make money. It is what it is. You just have to deal with it.
That's it.
Let's see what they're talking about though.
For me, what I'm trying to say, my point is my resume is 90% animals. And I have one thing on my resume about being a manager at Ulta, which is great because it gives me some experience in the manager department.
Right.
So it gives me a foot to put myself in to other doors as far as management goes. However, because I don't have like a ton of experience, people tend to look me over, and it's frustrating because I'll sit there and be like, I will get paid whatever I want to. You guys want to pay me? I'll scrub the toilets. I'll do whatever I have to do to get the experience.
But I think then this is the thing about this, what she's saying to me is sometimes I feel as though that management sees that though.
Yeah.
They'll see that and think of desperation versus it being more so like assertiveness in a sense.
Yeah.
Like
that makes perfect sense.
You know what I'm saying? It's like she's saying, I'm not saying that she's like bad for fulfilling.
Like you're doing too much.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like
who do you think you are too though?
I don't think it's who you think you are.
I don't think it's like that.
I think it's like I think it's the person where where a guy or a girl may like the other person too much and it's freaking the other person out.
So it just turns them off. Ah, okay. Cool.
I think that's
you think that's what that is?
I think so. I think it's a balance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think there's a level of like assertiveness to it and confidence to it.
Yeah.
Versus it being like, please let me get this job. You know what I'm saying? When I don't know. That's just my theory. I'm not saying it's right, but sometimes I think about it like when somebody wants something so bad, I almost feel like the power that some companies may have like use that to mess with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though they know they go do it, they probably would do a good job. It's like it's kind of like the dangling carrot thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just dangle the carrot in front of your face and make you keep working your ass off until you pass the hell out. And
sure.
Now you burnt out because you was trying your best to be supervisor or manager or whatever case may be. And the whole time they didn't know. They knew they weren't gonna pick you.
They didn't
because they knew how thirsty you was for it.
They knew it.
I don't know how many times I've seen people again be promoted and didn't want to be. You know what I'm saying? Because they were they just knew how to work the system and whatever way they could. Or it's networking. It's not what you know, it's who you know. It's so many different things that go along with this.
No, I think that's true. I think at the end of the day, like people already know who they're gonna promote. Like businesses know who's gonna be their next guy or girl, like before that's why I don't like non-merit based like companies. Because they already, because like they already know who they're gonna who's their guy, who's their girl, whatever.
Oh, okay. You mean like a warehouse?
Like a warehouse type of deal. They know who's gonna be the CEO. They know not the CEO. They know who's gonna be the supervisor. They know who's gonna be like the top person.
Right.
Before you even get hired.
Right.
So sure. yeah, I understand where she was coming from and everything with the experience stuff. But I mean, like at the end of the day, man, like just hit the polls.
What? Like
that was me.
That was yo. Hey man,
but no, like in all seriousness,
y'all. That's a wrap. That is a wrap. We'll see y'all next the fuck time. No, we're not doing no, absolutely not. We are stopping this. Hey man, this is Chris, and this is Devontae, aka DJ. We gonna holler at y'all later. Laughs a bit. Peace.